it's Jeff Chalmers here from discoverdouble-bass.com, which is the home of online learning for double bass players. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's great to have you here. And if you want to learn more about what we do, our courses, free lessons, there's interviews, masterclasses, it's all over at our website. And for people who sign up to a course, we've got a forum as well, so you can join the conversation there. Now, I'm joined today by an incredible musician, one of our tutors who's presented courses on playing funk bass, soloing and walking bass lines, and they are known for their work as a Yamaha artist. And I really wanted to kind of nerd out and talk gear with them. So I'm sure you know them already, but let's welcome back Chris Minh Doky. Chris, thank you so much for joining us to share your love of the of funk music and of the bass.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great pleasure.
It's been a really exciting week, and I've just loved hearing you play. And I thought we could just maybe take a moment. You've got all this cool gear here. You know, the electric upright, how have you found, how's your experience been taking this out on the road and playing gigs with it? What's the reaction that you've got from your band members?
Well, I mean, it really depends. I mean, generally it's been very positive. As of course, some people see the bass and they go like, it's going to sound like what, electric bass or what? But when they hear it, generally everybody is totally cool with it.
Yeah.
There are some instances, obviously, where the look doesn't fit kind of like what people expect. Like, I remember one of the first times I brought it out was with the Michael Brecker Quartet.
Wow.
And that's like a straight ahead acoustic jazz thing. And I mean, Michael loved the sound, everybody was cool, but the look wasn't right.
Okay.
So there's a thing then, or if I'm a soloist with a symphony orchestra, it could look a little weird if it's not the acoustic bass. But it's rarely, if any time, is it about the sound. It's more about like, is it too modern? Because it looks modern, but also it's got like kind of a classic look too. But
yeah,
I totally acknowledge it and I totally accept it. But generally speaking, I bring this bass in situations where I cannot put a microphone in front of my acoustic bass, because the acoustic bass is a glorious instrument and that's the sound I love. But 80% of the time the stage level gets too loud to have a microphone, hence you will be playing the pickup. Then I'd much rather bring this because you get the acoustic sound with this.
And you play a lot of groove music, a lot of funk, and naturally the volume tends to be higher than if you're playing that acoustic jazz. And so this gives you the transport, it gives you an amazing acoustic sound, whether you're in the studio or on the road. And it's a Yamaha SLB300 Pro.
Exactly.
Of course, you've been, as we know, an artist for many years developing this instrument. But it also, playing this electric upright bass allows you to go one step further and add in a whole new kind of sound world. And I just wondered if we could kind of take a look at this pedal. I know nothing about pedals, Chris, so maybe you could give me a tour and play a little and tell me what the sounds are and what are the units on here?
Well, I mean, the core of this pedal board, and this pedal board is my small travel pedal board. I have one that is larger, which is not so fly friendly, but this one is more friendly for going on airplanes. Yeah. So the core of it is this Helix stomp.
It's a line 6.
It's a line 6 Helix stomp, which is the same as my big pedal. This joint is just smaller, has fewer slots and everything. And basically what it is, it's a effects processor.
Okay.
You have like distortion, delay, you have pitch, you have EQs, you have compressors, you have everything. And basically, if you know, I really value and nerd about sound in the studio as well as live.
Okay.
And that's why I also like playing this bass and using pedals, because usually when you're on the stage live playing, you lose that control and the ability to put in an EQ, a compressor, and all that stuff. And with this bass, you can do it with effects. So, and you can control what you send to the monitor desk, to the front of house, what you send to your amp and everything. So there's levels of control, which is really great if you really nerd the sound.
Would you use this pedal board with your acoustic bass as well, or does it tend to just make more sense?
Well, I mean, in the beginning I did, but now I've just made the decision that when I play acoustic bass, I play acoustic bass with a microphone.
Okay.
And that's it. And even though this has an acoustic sound, I also use this because then it's like another setting.
So the Helix, Helix Stomp. Is
Yeah,
that
that's
what
the
we've got?
brain of it
Yeah.
all, and that does all the sound stuff.
So what are the sounds that you're using?
Well, I mean, for example, this is this sound. This is my clean sound. Like when
sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, and what I have in this chain of effects, I have a little bit of a compressor. And that's not a lot, but just a little bit so it doesn't pop too much sometimes, which you can do live because you get all into it stuff. And yeah, then I have an EQ for when I play down low. And then I have a setting here for soloing. And this pedal board I have on this preset is set for kind of, it can do all of it. But then I have another EQ that is set for when I play up high, and a little compressor thing, and then I have a little bit of delay. So that's nice to have too. And then over here, I have just an octave thing. And that can be nice too if you like playing lower stuff behind somebody. Go back this way out.
So it's an octave lower?
Yeah, so you add an octave. So it's just simple stuff, and this pedal then controls, gives me extra control within this, because on this small pedal there's only 3 controls here, and this one just, you know, there's a tuner.
Oh, so you got a tuner?
Yeah, a tuner, and then I can tap the tempo if I am in a song and I want the tempo of the delay to match the music. And as you can see right now, it's set to when I play also, actually this setting I have right now is when I play with Mike Stern. So, you know, when I hit it here, I get to, oh, let me take the tuner off. So when I press this one, it says SLB. Then I go here, and then when I switch to electric, I hit here, and it goes to my electric.
Oh, electric bass guitar?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and you can hear, now I don't have the electric, but check it out. This is the setting I have. And then electric, on this, it's different because also you need to set the levels of the EQ.
Yeah.
And then what else I got? Then you know, here's another setting. There's like a little bit of chorus in there, and then something I love is. So that's, you know, I love that. You know?
What happens when you first played that on a gig with someone like Mike Stern or something? Were they just like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
man?
I didn't tell him. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, you know, Mike Stern and Jaco knew each other very well. So when I started playing this tribute to Jaco, was like, but when I hit the distortion, I remember the first thing Mike said was like, "Yeah, baby."
It must be really
Yeah,
cool.
it's fun. But I love to play around with pedals and stuff. But to be honest, the biggest reason I use this is to actually play cleanly. You know, so when I have, it's more or less a clean sound. And I want to make sure the EQ is right, the compression, just like I was out in the studio. And when I play up here, likewise. And all the other stuff is toys and fun to do, and I use it. But this in comparison, I mean, this in connection with my amp, then I always have a good night with sonically. Because any bass player will know that, like, showing up a gig, you know, usually at sound check, you get, like, the drummer get a half an hour, the bass player, you go, thank you. So it's nice to know that what you got is cool, so you don't need front of house guys, right?
Oh, yeah. And tell us about the amp. I mean, you're a Mark bass artist?
Yeah,
is that
definitely.
correct?
And been with them for many years, and I love their stuff. It's like really clear, and what you know, when you see the settings on my amps I've been using for years, if I can't put everything in neutral and it sounds good, then it's not for me. And the only amp I've ever played in different models, obviously, is the Mark bass amp. I put everything at neutral and it sounds good.
Ooh.
And this new one I really like. This is the small amp. I have some bigger ones too, but it's a new material. They're incredibly light.
Yeah, I mean, I picked that thing up earlier and I was like, oh, wow, yeah, it's a real pleasure, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a gimmick that it's saying that it's light. It is really light.
Well, that's incredible, Chris. And I think in a moment we're going to cut and hear you play a solo performance, really utilizing this pedal board. What's the piece? It's some kind of a tribute to Jaco?
Well, it's a famous solo he played on one of my favorite Weather Reporter albums called 830.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then it's a piece I've been working on for a long time because I am an upright player. I do play electric too, but I always felt that the upright fitted in situation that is normally reserved for electric. And I always thought that, so I started, messing around with some Jaco stuff, and he did a looper, and then I added a beat, and then I added this, and all of a sudden it was like,
that's it,
yeah,
you're in.
yeah.
And I think the great thing about what you're doing here, Chris, that I've learned about your music is that all week we've been creating these wonderful courses with your lessons, talking about funk bass lines and funk soloing in a kind of groovy context, coming from that world. But you've done the whole thing on a regular, upright bass. You haven't actually used the electric upright in the lessons.
Yeah, yeah.
And all of the stuff that you're talking about, we're all doing this, whether we're playing Sunny, whether we're playing, I don't know, there's all of the sort of standard functions that we might come across, all work on upright, and they just help you take it to a slightly different place. And so many of our, our favorite players were funky players, like Ray Brown is coming to mind,
Immensely funky.
Yeah. So it's been great to hear you I feel like we've been missing this on Discover Double Bass. Like groove playing, funk playing, and you're the guy, and it's been a real pleasure to hear you this week and share your love of the bass. So.
Thank you, yeah. Well, the bass is the greatest instrument on the bandstand. I bet you agree.
Absolutely, Chris, absolutely. So listen, thanks so much for watching at home. If you've enjoyed this, go and check out Chris's music. He's got, he's putting out new albums all the time. I'm not sure when this is going to come out with whatever your latest release is, but we'll be providing links for all of that below. And if you can catch him on tour, whether it's with Mike Stern or Randy Brecker or his solo projects, I'd absolutely recommend it. And his lessons that he's presented on the regular upright bass here at Discover Double Bass are seriously funky. We'll provide some links so you can check out our preview below. And just to finish off, I think we should cut and hear this solo performance. So, Chris, thanks so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. All right.